Yeah, hard-fought game. Thought the difference of the game was I think it was around the 6.5-minute mark or so. They scored 3 out of 4 times. We went to a switching scheme, which they hurt us with offensive rebounds. Cava overhelped on a 3. Bradley hit a big shot in the corner. So, we were right there. That part of the game really was the difference. And it's a good club. They're a good club. They got good players. They're talented. Tommy's obviously a very experienced coach and does a great job. And give them credit. They played well.
What were the issues with the offense going on a 7-minute drought without a field goal in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, taking the ball out of the net. Like we're a team that thrives in transition, thrives with pace. They shot 14 free throws in the second half, made 13 of them. That slows the game down, And so I thought that wasn't the case in the first half. That was the difference of the game.
Minus 15 on the glass. Where do you think the struggles were on rebounding tonight?
I mean, they're a big, strong, physical team. I mean, I didn't think, I think it's easy to look at that number and point to something. I mean, you rebound to get second chance points offensively, right? So that they had 12 second chance points, we had 18. I didn't think that's why we lost. We lost because we just couldn't get stops. They weren't able to capitalize as much as they normally do with some of those second chance points. But I mean, Vassar is a big. I mean, he's huge, and the other kid, Awaka, is the best offensive rebounder in the country, literally. So it's not like that surprised us. We talked about it a ton. We're a little undersized, for sure. Retrospect, maybe Mihailo gives us a little bit more size over there. But, I think if anything, that's something that we talk about every single day. And we got to continue to make it a point of emphasis so that we can, get out and run.
What's the lesson for your team to learn after this loss?
And for that particular game, it's games are won on the margins. I say it all the time. The marginal difference in that game was our inability to get stops. And like, what does that mean? Okay, where was the breakdown in coverage? Okay, if we were switching, where did we screw that up? And so, just continuing to try to show our guys what it looks like in terms of execution down the stretch on both ends of the floor. That's one thing. The other thing, I think, in terms of learning is, we're a resilient club. We took 3 on the chin in a row and nobody batted an eye. Sun still came up the next day and we got back to work. And so that for me is exactly where we are now. They're a good team. They beat us, and we're going to, take a day off tomorrow, get ready for an important road trip, and go try to win the next game, which has been our attitude all year. And it's been fun actually to help these guys pick themselves up when we've come up short.
It was the first conference game that Down Hall attempted 10 field goals, 9 points in the second half. What do you make of his aggressiveness in that second half?
I thought it was incredible. That's the Down we want. He's been a little reserved, for the lack of a better term, in parts of the season. I love seeing that out of him. If we can bottle that up and continue to pull that out of him, that'll pay huge dividends for us.
Diego shot the ball 20 times tonight. Was that something in the game plan, or is it that you talked with him about being more aggressive and taking more shots?
We talked to him about being more aggressive for sure. I thought he forced. 2 or 3 of those threes were like heaves at the end there. I thought he forced a couple of the threes. We thrive on being able to get the ball to the paint and spray out. We call it paint to great. Those are the threes we like. I thought he forced a couple off the dribble, but we like him being aggressive. I thought he did a good job of getting downhill, getting to the rim. That's where I think he's at his best. And then you got to kind of stop that. Then his own spray outs can happen from there. But in terms of him, and then also just our group, we got to make free throws. 8 of 14 in a tight game. That's something one of you guys asked me the other day about that. We gotta step up and knock free throws down. If you're gonna shoot 9 threes, you can't go 0 3 from the free throw line. You know what I mean? So guys got to step up and make gimmies.
How difficult was that sequence when catching sits the 3, you guys go up 1, and then Love knocks down a counter 3, and just maybe the momentum swing that caused?
That's what that kid does. He's been doing it for years, and so. It's a big boy game. You got to come down and make the next play, and then that's something that our group has to understand. That's a club that's been good for a long time. They know what it takes, and someone whoever asked the question about learning, like we have to learn that we're as good as any team in the country, and I firmly believe that. Like we've been able to, I think we can play with any team in the country, honestly, and so I think the internal belief has to continue to grow, which I think it has over this course of the last 5 games, and that's what you do. You answer the call, and we have guys in our locker room that are capable of doing that, and we'll continue to push them to do that.